Welcome back to the channel, guys. I have a different type of video for you today. I'm gonna list my likes and dislikes about my GTR. Nothing on this list would kept me from buying it or makes me regret buying it. It's little things that added up over time. Figured I'd share them with you guys. So happy with this upgrade. Probably my favorite one so far. So the first thing on the list that I hate about the GTR is the absolutely horrible gas mileage. I talked to my friends back in the States that have big Chevy trucks, and they're getting like 2 miles more per gallon. On this tiny island with all the stop and go traffic, I probably get between 11 and 14 miles per gallon city driving.
How dare you!
On the highway, it's a lot better though, but I don't do a whole lot of highway driving here, so that's unfortunate. Number 2 on the list that I don't like about this car is the GTR tax. Because it's a GTR, everybody thinks everything for it should be more expensive. I'm talking about aftermarket parts, OEM parts. It doesn't matter, anything that you put on this car, because it's GTR, it costs more money. I moved the camera so you can actually get a good look at the size of this car. The turn radius is number 3 on the list. It is absolutely atrocious. I got my buddy Jeremy and Sylvia can do like circles around me while I'm trying to do a 3-point turn in a 5-lane highway. I know it's an all-wheel drive car, so that really inhibits the ability for a nice tight turning radius, but it's still kind of frustrating on these little small roads in Japan. Number 4 on the list. Things that I don't like about the GTR is unless you have a Tomei or a Blitz nurse spec, the exhaust notes are so quiet. I have an HKS dual dragger. I have no cats. I have aftermarket dump pipes. It's got 2 Cannonball mufflers on it and it's still relatively quiet. I want this thing to be screaming without having to get the same exhaust everybody else has. And that's a small frustrating part about having a twin turbo car. And for the 5th and final thing I hate about the GTR, this sounds ridiculous to say out loud, but there's no cup holders. Like, come on Nissan. I know I owned a bunch of 240s back in the States and none of the S13s had cup holders, but there's not one cup holder in this car. And I'm a thirsty ass dude. I need to drink stuff. So I need places to put my drinks. And that kind of falls into the comfortability of the car. It's not the most, I have HKS high power coilovers. It's not the most comfortable car to drive on a daily basis. I mean, it's fun and you feel connected to the road and it's a blast and it handles well and all that stuff. But it's just for daily driving on these horrible bumpy roads in Japan, it does get a little old. However, nothing on this list deterred me or would deter me from buying a GTR, buying a new one, buying another one, anything. I love the car. It's way more good than bad. When it comes to things that I love about the GTR, the list is huge. I absolutely love how many parts are available for this car. Literally, anything you can think of you can replace. It's almost like a big expensive Honda Civic. I think that's fun. Number 2 on the list of my favorite things about owning a GTR is the sound of the RB26. I know I got a lot of people out there that are like, oh, 2JZ sounds better, or this sounds better, or that sounds better. I just love the way RBs sound, especially with equal length downpipes like I have with the HKS. Sounds amazing, I really like it. It could be a little bit louder, but I can live with it for now. So people forget that these GTRs are extremely old. My car is almost 25 years old. January, it'll be 25. And when I first got in the car, I shut the door and I cranked it up and it did not feel like a 25-year-old car. I was really impressed. The factory power that it comes with was outstanding for a car that was made in the mid-90s. It's still pretty powerful by today's standards. The handling on these GTRs makes the list. I know it's a big car, it's a boat. It's the biggest GTR ever made. Even supposedly it's even bigger than the R35, which I don't know if that's true. But this thing sticks to the roads, and all I've really done is coilovers and an aftermarket strut bar, which I'm sure is no better than the factory one. But this car is so much fun to drive. It drives like it's on rails. I know there's a lot more cars that are more nimble, the GC8, the Evos, all that good stuff. But for what this car is, but it's an absolute beast to drive through the twisties up in the mountains. It's so much fun, and I absolutely love it. Another thing that I love about owning a GTR is the family, whether it's here locally in Okinawa, in Australia, the UK, the dudes in the States that have one. Everybody really relies on each other, is really helpful and shares information. They give tips, they tell you what to look out for. It's a huge family, and I really, really like it. Better than most car cultures, and I'm really appreciative of that. One of the coolest things about owning a GTR was I drove this car in Gran Turismo, Forza. I'm going all the way back to PS2 days, Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero. I mean, I love this car. It's so awesome to be able to drive your dream car basically on the daily. That's amazing, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm really happy I got it. But the number one best thing about owning a GTR for me is that it allowed me to start my own channel, my own YouTube channel. If I didn't have this car, I probably wouldn't be reaching all of you guys all across the world. It's really awesome. I hope I've shown you some insight on what it's like to live in Japan and what it's like to own a Nissan Skyline R33 GTR. One of the things that can't be left off the list is, I know the R33 is like the redheaded stepchild. Nobody likes it. However, I absolutely love the way it looks. I love the grille, I love the taillights. Probably one of my favorite cars to ever come out of Japan. I know that R34 is everybody's favorite, but to me, the R33 has a special place in my heart, and I absolutely am in love with the way it looks. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little different, but it kind of lets you guys have a chance to see what it's like to be me and how I think. Every car that you own, nothing's gonna be perfect. There's always gonna be those little things that could be changed or could be improved to be better. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and as always, I'll see you next time. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I have a different type of video to fucking goddamn. I absolutely love how many parts are available. How many parts are available for this car, especially with equal length downpipes. Oh wait, no. Especially with equal, god damn it. But for what this car is, it is an absolute beast to drive through the twisties in the mountains. It's an absolute beast to drive through the twisties. That's really hard to say. It's an absolute beast to drive through the
twisties in the mountains.
Twisties. That's what me up. It's an the twisties. Huh?
Twists and bends.
Oh. Me and Jeremy are actually about to go shoot some sick sun. God, what is wrong with me today? It's only when I do this. Me and Jeremy are about to shoot some sick sunset. Oh my God!
You should make a blooper reel.
I needed to.
That'd be fantastic.
But me and Jeremy are gonna go take some sick sunset shots out here on this ridge. We're gonna try to. The sun kind of went behind those clouds, but later.